Hi, Amanda. We're going to take a look at your first film. I'll offer some unique feedback, individual feedback beyond what we discussed in the studio. So go ahead and screen share here and get to checking out what we see. Now, your piece just basically starts right off. Here, we didn't do any kind of fade up to black or anything like that. So it just kind of, bam, starts like that. Think about that, whether you want the piece to sort of fade up or not fade up, that kind of thing. The intro, it does matter. So I would consider that. So you move the story along very quickly, and effectively, you're going from sleep to skateboard. It shows like a priority, like what's most important to you. Clearly, hygiene. Of course, you did your hair, tied it up, brushed your teeth, grabbed your keys. I like that the dog was kind of like, hey, what's going on? There's little moments in there that we can pick up on to kind of give a little bit of a sense of the personality of this character. The room, all of the stuff that's surrounding this person in the room, and then we're out in this open space. Suddenly, your points of view, where you're positioning the camera, the fact that the camera is not moving at all, stuff like that, I think all is telling. You're using a structure, even though we're not yet picking up on it yet. I don't think the audience will have picked up on it yet. I don't know that the audience will have picked up on the structure at all, because I don't think it is sort of dictating itself within the piece. I think that your rhythm, it's more of a rhythm than a structure that you're creating with this. Very good on the audio there, where you closed the hood and then it came into. We're not sure whether that was the skateboard or the trunk making that sound, which is quite interesting. I like that quite a bit. So that pause there, again, a visual sort of cleansing, if you will, is very necessary because of all of the sort of chaotic noise that you're creating through the visuals, the scratching, the crunching, all of it. It feels very like upfront and immediate, like right in our face. So all that editing is working really well. I would really then, clearly, I have said it before. I think you're an amazing editor. I think you've got an intuitive sense about it. What I would suggest is working on your quality of light within your pieces, getting a better sense of the time of day, choosing the time of day a little more carefully. I know that you're in school and you're doing all these kind of things and you don't always have a choice there, but really, affecting the time of day where the light is really starts to become a character in your pieces, I think would bump them to another level, bump all your work to yet another level. Because I think I want to help you get to that next level, and that is where that's the next step. That's what's going to elevate your work to the next point. And we got the editing. You got that. Camera work, compositions. Sometimes you're more particular about it than others. Things like this where you've got the clutter. It's not really all that matters. It's not really mattering that much, the structure here, because you're moving so quickly back and forth, stuff like that. But there's points where you are very particular about composition and other areas where you're not. But the quality of light, it could be improved, and it's just about time of day, really, and choosing very specific times of day when the lighting is to your advantage. Like, for instance, here, that's a really good shot here because we have a much better sense of light. You see how the light is coming from a direction? Directional light is going to give your pieces more of a sense of time, a place. It gives it more of a deliberate feel to it. So I would really suggest that. Also start thinking about things like reflectors, being able to reflect light back in, really kind of crafting the scene. Especially when you're in an interior. Sometimes when you're outside, you can't really do that. But when you're inside, spend some time thinking about how the lighting in your scene is. I'm not saying you need to make it look like a studio. Your stuff tends to look very documentary, very of the moment kind of thing. So I think you want to keep that. But at the same time, I think we can take it to another place lighting wise. I think you could elevate your work to another place if we focus on your lighting. See how we go to the very orange lighting into over here. Sorry about the background noise if it's annoying. Yeah, we have different qualities of light here. This is very clean. Then we get a little warmer. And then this is like, over here, I think right here, we got into some really orange stuff, that kind of thing. Paying very close attention to those kinds of elements will add more consistency to your work.
So that allowed you to make an edit that didn't have a static issue.
So very clean piece. It's very journal-like. All of these things are really just sort of these sketches, these sort of samples where you're building this catalog of work and ideas. These kinds of pieces really serve that purpose for you. These short 1-minute kind of exercises that you could build for yourself. You can decide to create stuff like this on your own, just as challenges for yourself, going into the public spaces, going into your own personal spaces. Challenge yourself though in areas that you're not good at yet, like or that you haven't addressed. Maybe not that you're not good at, but you haven't addressed as much. Like, for instance, quality of light. And if you're not interested, meaning if it's not something that is coming intuitively to you, that's where your partners can help you with. I know you have your siblings, they help you with audio, things like that. Celeste took my lighting class, so she's familiar with the language at least of the qualities and characteristics of light direction, intensity, color, hardness, all of those kinds of things. And she would at least be able to inform you a little bit more about that kind of stuff. I think that will help take you to the next level. If you would like, I can kind of work with you a little bit to give you a little primer on working with lighting, things like reflectors and diffusers and stuff like that. We could schedule something and kind of work together a little bit to bring your lighting skills up so that you can imply and kind of use those within your film work to really improve and get that to be as elevated as the rest of the stuff that you do. So that's what I have. Hopefully you're continuing to work, and I look forward to seeing more of your stuff. All right. See you later. Bye-bye now.